Hi, Sarah here with you, and I'm making this video for people who are feeling frustrated about drawing or feel that no matter how hard I try, I'm not improving, or there are people who are improving faster than me, so I'm just gonna quit because I'm not good enough. These kind of people who feel hesitated and they just wanna stop drawing entirely because they feel so frustrated about it. Person improvement, or I would say skill growth, is different from one person to the other because of the elements that affect in their improvement. For example, people who are in art school will do much better than people who draw based on what they learn from the internet, for example. I will tell you quickly my story and the past couple of years and how I've improved compared to the past couple of years. When I was a kid, I liked to draw a lot, but in school I was never taught anything about drawing. Art school was usually the teacher would go, she would not do anything except she would sit down and watch us and we will draw, and that's it. There was no basics, there was no nothing, and there was even part of it that was history. So you didn't learn drawing, and of course the lovely education system makes us learn stuff which are way ahead of our age, so eventually at home most of the things you do is not play but rather study. So I won't say that as a kid I learned a lot about drawing. It's just something that I did for fun, and of course there's the fact that Egyptian people think that drawing is something like a game. You play it or you do it when you feel frustrated and then you just don't do it anymore, like for a job or career or so. So there were these kind of factors. So because of that, there wasn't really any activities that involved around drawing or so on. It wasn't until I got into high school. High school is the toughest time in I guess you could say an education system, because first year is 20 subjects in 1 year, second and third year the grades of these 2 years are put together, and based off the grade you go to a college. Even if you want to go to something, you need to get a really high grade. I'm talking about 95 and 96%. I got an 85%. Even I spend most of my time at home studying and going from one private lesson to the other, which is very common. No one goes to school, or even the people who goes, they really don't get that much good information anyway. So, and it was a lot of subjects. It was really hard. So all you gotta do is study, and it's the type that you memorize it and not understand it. It's not like you go to the exam and you write the answer to the question because you understand it. It's because you memorized it. So you imagine all of these factors. You don't have any time to draw at all. I would draw in between my studies a bit or in my lessons because I would feel frustrated. And that time there was forums where they started talking about anime more, and there were more channels that showed anime. Not that a lot. It was about 2 channels that came or so. And then I would draw what I see. I would try to draw it, but it wasn't based on any sort of drawing knowledge. It was rather based on copying other positions, you can say, which wasn't really the perfect way of learning drawing, but it was a start. I'm sure everyone starts like that, by copying their favorite anime characters in a certain position or so, and that sort of will teach you at least the proportions. In a sense, you will have a sense of how the body should look like and the measurement of it, and maybe some positions. I went to college, and I went to a private one, not a governmental one, which takes less marks than governmental one, but you pay money for it. That's why it's called a private school. But I had more time to do stuff. It wasn't really rather that you have to memorize everything. It was rather that you understand, and what you understand you write. There were some subjects that you have to memorize, but it wasn't that much of amount of information that I used to take in high school. And in case you're wondering, college is mandatory right after you finish high school, so you need to go to that. I made a mistake in the beginning. I went to accounting school and I was in a language school, which half of my subjects were in English, like math and science and their branches. So when I went to accounting school, everything has changed, the environment has changed, and everything was turned like from English to Arabic. So I had a really tough time with that. And I went to I guess you could say a depression mode or so. So drawing was my only way out. But I gotta say, that was the time I started looking into tutorials on YouTube. It was late 2006, early 2007. It was when a lot of people started drawing like speed art, some others would explain. Just so you know, I had a YouTube account in 2006, but YouTube suspended it earlier 2009. So I've been following a lot of artists on YouTube since 2007 and watching them and learning from them. And from that I learned the basics of art. Then I went to media school later on, and I had more time, easier stuff to do. I have more time to look on tutorials, websites, videos, you name it. And you can tell from 2009 till we're almost 2012, right? And the past 3 years or so, I have learned the science of drawing. So now I understand how a body works. I understand the perspectives. I am still having a bit problem with the perspectives, but I understand how to draw a position, sketching a pose or something. I still have some hard times working from my mind, but if there is a person standing in front of me or a picture, I can draw that position in 10 minutes or so. Just a quick sketch, not the stuff with details. So you can say that in about 3 years or so, I learned the science of drawing and how it works, and now I can sketch people in really less time. Before I learned the art of drawing or the science of drawing, I would have spent 4 to 5 hours just working on one position. So what I'm trying to say is that you can learn drawing and you can be better, and it is the environment around you that affects you, how rapid you learn or not. When I was in school, there wasn't much that they taught us, so of course I just worked with what I saw, you know. When I went to college, I started watching YouTube. In about 3 years, just only 3 years, I was able to grasp the beginnings or the foundations. But before that, I was 17 years old or 16 years old, and I was drawing based on what I see in a picture. That I know I was old. I wasn't that young, you know, or so. But still, I was able to learn and reach to this level. So if you're 16, 17 years old, you can learn the basics in the foundation in a matter of 2 or 3 years or 4 or 5. You would have grasped the beginnings, and you can start working on your comic. And I know a lot of my subscribers are between 13 to 17 years old, so a lot of you guys are teens. Take the chance of the growing community of people teaching how to draw stuff, and watch. Don't say, for example, because this person is doing a how to draw face video and I saw one before, I'm not gonna watch it. Watch another one. This guy might have another technique or a little trick that might help you. And books really helped me in improving or understanding the science of drawing. Were books. There was one book, it was called Teaching Art for Beginners, and it practically was beginners who are like, if you're going to first year of art school, it was like the basics of that. So don't give up because there are people who are getting better than you. There might be a certain environment, there might be people who are helping them to grow faster than you. Because if you're like me and you're learning from everywhere you look, because in Egypt drawing is absolutely ignored. No one really thinks of drawing as it's only like a little game. That's it. So there isn't much. I go to bookstores, I ask them, can I find a how to draw book? They told me, sorry, we don't sell that. There is no how to draw books, painting, or anything. You rarely find that stuff anywhere. So that's another major issue I'm facing, is that I cannot find drawing books that can teach more advanced skills than what I learn now or what I know now. There are a couple of places that is giving courses, so hopefully I might take one after the graphic course I'm taking right now. And I do have that in mind, is that I will take graphic courses and drawing courses that will help me eventually either work in animation or do something in advertising that involves drawing and graphics, because they really work together that well. So don't feel discouraged, just keep on doing your best. And I would say that to every how to draw video, speed art, whatever, watch it. You'll technically learn a lot just from observing other people. You will have a sense of feeling if your drawing is wrong or right, or if there is a mistake or not, by observing other people's work. You can do that by manga or comics or whatever, as long as you just read and see a lot of other people's work. That's it. I hope you don't feel discouraged, because take it from me, I'm a person who learned the science of art in 3 years, and you can go to my DeviantArt, compare the stuff that I did in 2009 and now, and see the difference. And well, that sort of is the whole point of this video. I hope you continue on drawing and have fun drawing. Bye.